Wow, I did not think my first official video would be me making an OC. So, guess I should introduce myself. Hi, I'm Ember the Arsonist, or just Ember. And no, I don't commit arson, that's a felony. I chose my username because it has a nice ring. Good? Okay. So, I should explain what this channel's gonna be. Well, I'm an artist, so it's an art channel. Shocker, I know. So, what will this video be? An introduction? Kinda. I figured I'd kick my channel off by doing something I love doing, making original characters, otherwise known as OCs. So, one thing that really inspires me when it comes to making characters is nature. Or, to be more accurate, how wild it can be. No pun intended. In this case, I'm making a vampire. How does that work, you might ask? Well, let's start with a fun fact. Did you know that some butterflies drink blood? Apparently, they drink blood for essential nutrients. So, the problem is, most vampires are gothic, and as much as I love goth stuff, that just wouldn't fit with my concept. So instead, I'm going with a cottagecore aesthetic. Alright, so here's my drawing footage. For digital art, I use Clip Studio Paint for my program. In order to get a rough idea of how I want things, I start by drawing a weird stick figure skeleton thing. It generally helps me figure out where I should place things, and then I sketch a body over it. As you see in the footage, though, hands and feet are my worst nightmare. I can't draw them for the life of me. I also tend to go around the sketch a lot and try to fix things as I go. For the outfit, I looked up some cottagecore outfits and noticed a lot of them feature long dresses or overalls. I initially drew a long dress, making sure it has clothing folds, something I'm trying to get better at, and I took forever to decide what to do for the sleeves. Oh, and that little flower on her little belt is a moonflower. I wanted to give her some kind of flower, but she can't really go outside in the sun because vampire, so it had to be one that blooms at night. Once I finished sketching the outfit, though, I couldn't decide if I liked the long dress or not. I copied the layers of the base and body, and I kept the top the same, but I changed the skirt and made the weird apron thing more akin to an overall pinafore dress. I couldn't decide what I liked more, so I thought about it for a while and asked the polls community over on Tumblr. Even though the one I initially drew had more votes, though, I decided I liked the other one more. So now I'm drawing her face and her hair here. I decided to give her slightly downturned eyes to make her look super sweet. My idea for this character is that maybe she puts on a sweet persona. I imagine she lives in the middle of a spooky forest, and her home looks quite out of place because the clearing she lives in looks far friendlier than the rest of the forest. Many people who end up in this forest never come out. She finds them and puts on this facade of being this sweet girl who finds people lost in the forest and kind of guides them to her home. She puts on this act of hospitality for quite a while, and then when she earns someone's trust while they're asleep, this is going to sound graphic, and I'm sorry about that, but she drinks their blood. It's just a fact of life. I mean, she likes other things like honey and fruit, but since she is a vampire, she needs to drink blood for sustenance. In the footage, you see me struggle a bit with the hair. I wanted to give her curly hair since I don't have many OCs with this kind of hair. I'm not that great at drawing curls though, so bear with me here. Also, I go back and forth if I want to draw the eyes over the hair or not. Normally, I don't draw eyes over hair because, in my opinion, it looks a little bizarre, especially if one or both of a character's eyes are supposed to be obscured by their hair. The only reason my PNG tuber has it is so it's easier to draw expressions on her face. By the way, I promise one day I'll make a better PNG tuber model, because mine's kinda bad. Also, you'll notice the footage has a lot of cuts in it. Those are mostly just long pauses because I tend to watch YouTube videos while drawing or chat with friends on Discord. And, that's kind of a distraction. Or, you know, I have to go feed my cats, because I'm a cat owner. Design-wise, I really wanted to make her kind of a mix of innocent but devious at the same time. So to help with that, I kind of gave her this long strand of hair in front of her face to communicate that there's something off about her. Maybe she's not being completely honest with you. Once I finish my rough sketch, I start doing a cleaner sketch on top of it in black. That way when it's time for line art, I don't get confused. I'm not gonna go too in-depth about line art since I haven't really found a method of doing line art that I actually like. Something about me is I kinda despise doing line art at the moment, but I'm trying to figure out how to get better at it and figure out what works. Oh, and for colors, I gave her a kind of pastel color palette. I made her shoes a dark purple and the little flower on her belt is a pale yellow. I loved how that looked, so I decided to darken it, and yeah, she's a blondie. I also gave her a dull, almost grayed out skin tone because, again, vampire. For the eyes, I knew I wanted to give her bright red eyes to make her look even more unsettling, even though the color palette I was giving her kind of was asking for green, but I have enough OCs with green eyes. I also added a shadow over her face to kind of signify her more unsettling nature. And with that, here's the rough concept. Normally when I do these, it's just kind of a rough idea. A lot of times when I draw them, I'll adjust details and play around with their design. So now, let's actually draw her. Like I said, I play around with character designs after the initial rough concept. For this vampire girl, I noticed that she didn't really have many features that scream butterfly, so during the line art, I changed the flower on her belt to kind of a butterfly shape. Also, the footage here looks a little different because OBS wasn't cooperating. So instead, I just used the built-in time-lapse feature in Clip Studio Paint to record my footage. I changed the colors so they're more pastel, and I gave her an umbrella. It probably doesn't help much since she can't really be out in the sun because, again, say it with me now, vampire. I tried to practice perspective here because, to be honest, I'm not that great at perspective. Also, her color scheme changed to be more pastel. I decided to make her umbrella purple to try to balance colors out, and I added a quick background. For shading, I used a dark bluish green. So what I do is, I copy the color layer, put a clipping mask over the copy, color it that dark bluish green I mentioned, and then merge the clipping mask with the copy. Then I use a soft eraser to erase where I don't want the shadows. Then I do some cell shading in places where I want the shadow to be a little stronger. Oh, I also added some red highlights to her hair set to add glow to make her eyes look like they're glowing. You know, to add a bit more of an eerie look to it. Then I put all my layers in a folder, copy that folder, merge all the layers in the copy, and then blur it. Then I erase where I don't want the blur. Here's the final result, and I know it's not perfect. I'm not really the best artist. Perspective is hard, okay? But hey, you only get better at something by practicing, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can about art so I can improve my skills. As far as names go for this character, I was struggling for a while. Initially I wanted to name her Papillon, which is French for butterfly, but I decided Papillon wouldn't really work. So I looked up some names, and I found Vanetta. It's a variant of Vanessa, which means butterfly, and it sounds fairly unique, so her name is Vanetta. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my first video. I know the editing isn't the best, but I'm pretty new to editing videos and doing voiceover. I don't have an upload schedule, so I'll probably figure that out once I have made some more videos for you guys to enjoy. Alright, bye! On second thought,